Today I'm going to be giving you a brief overview training of our software. Now there's a lot more to the software that I will be leaving out, to which you can explain to the client that there will be an advanced training session to which we'll go over the phone with and then explain those details. The first thing is first, I'm going to clock in. At the bottom of the screen there's a clock in and out option. So you're going to put in your passcode. This is the code that every employee is going to have. And you can also have the managers have a code, the partners, whoever wants to use the system will have their own unique code. By default, that code will be 0110 and hit submit. And as you can see here, we have an option to clock in. We can clock out. If you want to go on break, you can, or come back from break. Next thing, I'm going to go ahead and start log into the software. So I'm going to put in my access code and hit submit, and that's going to take me right into the order screen. So before you can start ringing in items, when you first get started for the day, you want to start your shift. So at the top of the screen there is a start/end shift option. Once you click this, the cash drawer is going to open, and it's just wanting you to count how much money is inside of the drawer at the moment. So you can either count each denomination from pennies, nickels, all the way to a $100 bill, or you can just enter a generic amount that you have in your drawer. In that case, I'm going to hit $100, hit OK, hit yes to confirm, and that will start my shift. If I want to print the denomination report, it's just a report that tells me how much I started off with. I can. If not, I'm just going to hit no. Now that my shift is started, I can start ringing in my products. So I'm going to go ahead and scan the SKU. Now what this is going to do is going to go ahead and ring in the product. You can see the item name, the quantity, the price, and if there's any discounts, it will be added here. If you want, you can actually change the quantity. So if the customer decides they want 5 of these bottles here, instead of you scanning it 5 times, I can hit change quantity, change this to 5, and that will update the quantity, and then you can see that the price will be changed accordingly. You can also do a line discount. So if you wanted to give the customer 10% off, I can hit line discount. You can also do an amount where that's like $2 off, $3 off. In this case, I'm going to hit percentage, and I'm going to put a reason why I'm doing it, which is manager request. And I'm going to hit 10, hit OK, and as you can see, it's going to tell me that it took off $2 from the order. Next, now in the event that you have a customer who maybe forgot their wallet or need to go back out, or they want to grab a few things, and you have other customers in the line, you can actually put the order on hold by hitting the option here at the bottom left underneath the pay, and it's actually going to remove the order temporarily, to which you can start taking other customers. And once that customer comes back, there's an option here that says recall on hold order, which will give you a list of any orders that are still on hold. And you can see you can verify by the order number, the date, the total. So I'm going to go select the item here, the order, and hit select, and it just rings everything back up. So if you want to pay for the order, at the bottom left of the screen, we're going to hit pay, and this is going to tell me the grand total. So right now I have a balance of $19.21. If the customer wants to pay by cash, you can either hit the cash button, which would assume the exact value. If they paid you in a different amount, you can manually type in how much they gave you. So if they gave you $19.50, then you can just type in that amount, and it will give you your change due. Now, if the customer wants to pay you in 2 different amounts, you can actually type in the lesser amount. So I'm going to type in $10 here and hit cash. It's going to process it through, and then it's going to say the remaining balance is $9.21, to which at that point you can pay by any of the other order types at the bottom of the screen. So I'm just going to click on, let's just do credit card. That'll close out the order, and now you can take the next customer. Now, in the event that you want to just open the cash register, if you go into your operations, there is an open drawer option. So this is used in like a no sell situation to where you just want to open a cash drawer to maybe get change or something else. I click here, I click the reason why I'm getting change, and that will pop the cash drawer out. We also can create a feature here called open item or open price. This is in the event that you don't have the product in your store. You can actually manually type in that name and even the price. So I'm going to click on open item. I'll just say this is going to be a Coke can, hit enter, and I'm going to say this is going to be 50 cents, and that's just going to bring it up on the screen here. So if you want to delete the item, I can just go ahead and hit the delete button down at the bottom, and that will remove it. If there is more than one quantity, it's going to ask you how many do you want to delete. I'm just going to say all 3. Now, once you're done, you're going to click the same exact option. So at the end of your shift, you're going to click the same start/end shift. And what's going to happen is it's going to show you exactly what you started off with, how much you did in cash sales, which is $10. And if there's any additional things that you may have taken out or put back in, credit to customers, refunds, cash pullouts, it's going to take that in consideration during your shift close, so it'll know exactly how much money should be in the drawer. So from everything I've done so far, I should have a total of $110 in the register, and I can just put in all of the denominations, or if I count it myself, I could just put in a generic amount, to which I'll just say I only had, let's say, 109. Now what's going to happen is, because I'm $1 off, on my shift report it's going to tell me that I'm short by $1. So to basically close my shift, I still can print the denomination report. I'm going to say no. And the next time I want to use the system, I will have to start the shift again to start bringing in additional items. Now I'm going to go jump into the back office. This is where a lot of the setting changes will be. I can add employees, add new items, look at the reports. Everything can be done from back here. Now, as far as adding items, you first want to create a menu category and a menu department. This is used to categorize your inventory items, and it's also very useful when it comes down to looking at reports. So after you're done there, we can just jump into the inventory. Now to create a new item, you first want to hit new here. Now make sure you hit new first, because if you don't and just start changing things here, all you're doing is just editing something that already exists. So first hit new. It's going to clear the code and it's going to change it to something else. So you can see I have a brand new code which is generated by the software. The menu department, as you can see here, is set for white, but I'm going to change this to rum. And then I'll just type in a name, Bacardi, bottle, and then the cost, that's how much the vendor cost is. So I'm going to say I pay, let's say $3.99, but I charge my customers $11.99, and I currently have, let's say, 35 in stock. Now to add the SKU, that's basically the barcode, you want to hit the add button first, and then you want to scan the barcode on that item. So if the item already exists, the barcode is being used by something else, it will tell you. So in this case, I'm going to scan a different barcode. That's going to add it to the SKU list, and you can add additional barcodes if you want, and it's just going to link to the same item. Now if you do want to prompt for the age, there is a prompt age verification that you can check in here. And that's pretty much it for a basic item. So we're going to hit save. It's going to say your item has been added, and if I want, I can add another one. If not, I'm just going to hit no, and that will basically add it to my inventory. Now I can also hit search at the very top here, and this will show me a list of all of my products, which I can filter by category or by department, and I can go in here and change the name or update the price. Anything I want to do from this point, I can set this up and then hit update. Now back into the back office here, we also have the ability to add new employees. It's pretty simple enough. We're just going to hit employees. I'm going to hit new on the right side here. And then you can see it's going to generate a unique ID, which you can't change. A password is what the employee is going to use to log into the system and clock in and clock out. So I'm just going to type in one here, give them a display name, and then the personal information, you can fill that out. They can do it later on if they want to, but this is just the personal info about the employee you're adding. And then you definitely want to give them an employee role. This actually controls what they can and can't do in the software. So you're going to make sure you have the correct role for the right employee. And then you can set their hourly rate and their overtime rate from here. If they need to update it, there is a change hourly rate they can put in here. And same thing goes for the overtime. Once you're done there, you're just going to hit save. It's going to save the employee, and you can add another one, or in this case, I'm going to hit no. Now, once you're completely done with the day, we're going to go into our more operation here. And then on the right side, there's an option that says day end. So essentially, you want to make sure all of your shifts are closed, everything's completely done, there's no open orders, and you're going to hit day in. And this is actually going to not only close out your day, but it's also going to batch out your credit cards as well. Now, we can also have it set up to where it batches out on its own at a specific time. That's just an additional option for you. Once you hit OK, it confirms the amounts. It's going to close the shift. It's going to close the day, and it's going to generate a report. And this basically kind of resets it so that the next day it'll pretty much start from scratch. Now, going back into the operations, we can also go into our reports. And what this does is it gives you a list of different categories. So right now we're in our sales category. We can jump into our payments, which gives us more credit card details. We got customer information, employees, where you can see their hours and wages, inventory information about what they have in their store, stock reports, and additional reports as well. So any report that you choose, let's say, for example, I want to go into the day ending report. This will give you a timestamp of all the different reports we have for that particular report there. So I'm going to go to the one we just did now, and I can view this as a full report or as a receipt. It's just the size of it is different. And then I can either print it out or I can display it on the screen. And that's just going to give me all the information about that day on this one report. And then other reports will allow you to filter it. So I can go back, click here, and then I can choose last month, last year, or 20 years ago. There's no limit on how far back I can go. And once you have it selected, you can either show it up on the screen or you can print it out onto a receipt printer or full-size printer, depending on the reports. So that's pretty much all it for the basics of the software. Anything additional or more advanced, you can just get them on the phone with us and we can schedule or more advanced training between us and maybe the managers or partners. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll go from there.